Oh, hello again, everyone. Welcome back. Thanks for visiting once again. In a departure from the normal run of things, I'm putting away for a short while the Focke-Wulf, and I'm going to look today at the Voyager, which is a Hasegawa model kit. You may have seen me briefly messing around with on one of my lives. Now, I was reading about Voyager a little while ago, and I thought, well, I've got this model, I should make it, and I've suddenly decided I want to do that. So I made a start on it, as you can see, and you'll remember me from the live fooling around with this, and in particular this is the high gain antenna, by the way. And the experiment I was doing, and I was trying to get to a position where these arms here, let's just zero in on this, it's all white, it's therefore difficult to see properly. I wanted these arms to all be in the right orientation, and as you can see, if you do get them right, even with a little parallax, the legs there between the antenna receiver and the dish are actually in line. So what happens is you can see that they disappear. That becomes just 3 arms, and then it becomes 6. And as you turn it, it becomes 3, and then 6, and you turn it again, and it becomes 3, and then 6. So I'm fairly happy that I've got that in the right orientation. I'm going to prime this in white and then paint it using my supply of actually anti-flash white, which is this stuff here, the Hataka, because I got a very good finish with that when I used it on the TSR2. And who's to say that the dish of this wasn't actually anti-flash white? It might have been. This section here, this piece of Photo-etch here, actually needs, it says it should be sandy yellow, as should be the top of this receiver, the low noise, I think it's a low noise block or something like that. This should be sandy yellow. I'm going to use a titanium gold for that, so I shall prime this in white and then paint it gloss black and then paint it titanium gold after that, and also the underside of this here. So the error that I've made here is actually putting this in, so I'm going to have to do some fairly serious messing around. I may just brush paint that section there. I think that's probably going to be the best bet there. And this section here, excuse me, barking at you again. This section here is what's called the main bus. I don't know why it's called a bus, because it's not big, it's not red, it's not got 2 decks, and Peter at Ozscale Modelling is building something that looks nothing like this at all. So quick shout out for Peter there, good to see you. Sorry I keep missing your lives, old chap, it's just that I'm busy on a Thursday quite often, but I will try and turn up to one, I promise. So, there we go, so quick study of the instructions here. What I'm going to do is fool around with the bottom side of the bus here. Actually, a quick word about the top side and the body of it. It's quite important to get these sections in the right orientation. If you don't get them in the orientation correctly, they don't go together properly, because it's a nonagon, a 9-sided object, I think this. As you can see, one of these bus vents here has is halfway, and the other one goes full way. Hopefully you can see that. There will be some Photo-etch to add into that, so the square box will be well catered for, I suspect, there. But instead, at the moment, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all this together, because all of this should be painted the same colour, and they say it's got to be painted a semi-gloss black. I'm going to do some research on this. I think actually the underside, this bus itself was painted or was a semi-gloss black, but that had to do with the fact that the outside covering was an insulating sleeve, so it was a sort of material sleeve, and underneath this was a sort of chrome colour. Now you've got a choice here. You can either paint it semi-gloss black and just look at and just say the scale, which is 1/48, has killed off the chance of putting any plastic on this, because anything you did would be over scale. Or you can paint it silver and put plastic on it, encase it in plastic and make it look like an insulating whatnot. I think I'll do is I'll take the chance of making some changes in the contrast on some of this to give the appearance of material. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. We'll see. I'll have a go at that. That's sort of artistic type stuff, which is perhaps, I would suggest, a little bit beyond me. So the way that I'm working, excuse me again, the way that I'm working with this is to actually orientate the bus in this direction here. I'll zero in on this just a little bit for you. Orientate the bus in this direction, and then work with part A15, A11, A14, A11. So the A11s go either side here and here, the A15 here and the A14 here. I'm going to keep them in their orientation as they should be, because I don't really know if they go in wrongly whether it will have an effect, and I don't want to risk it, to be honest with you. So I'll get the A sprue components out, and that's actually the B sprue. We'll talk about that in a minute. That's quite interesting. Shows some bits and pieces there. And here's the A. So what we want is the A11 component here. Hopefully you'll be able to see this okay. Remember to be careful cutting away these sections here, because that's a tab and then a sprue nib here. You can see that if I cut off there, I'll cut off the locator tab. So it's as well to be quite careful with that. So we'll take that off there and there. Put that away and do a small amount of filing. So perhaps unusually today we'll be doing some actual fitting work rather than me jabbering away. So as usual, videos are not edited, they're done as is. So if something goes wrong, you get to see it there and then, and that's I think quite important. And always has been part of my plan, as it were. I know other people do that, in particular people like the Most Excellent Plastic Monkey and so on. So, but I mean, and we all think, I think the same thing here, that it's a excuse me, it's a good idea to do this, because then you get to see what happens if it all goes wrong, which sometimes it does. I'm going to have a quick look under here, try and see if I can take away the mould lines. See some of those in there. Because they'll certainly show up when you're under primer there. Some of you may remember that I said I would do this on my lives, but I haven't done a live for a little while, and I will do them, but not as regularly, and I decided I really wanted to build this particular model. And as I see under magnification here, there's a little bit that needs to be cut away there, which would look a bit gash if I was to put that in. So there we go on that one. So this is an A11 component. So the A11 components sit in there like that. Let's see if we can make that go in. There we go. So we'll just zero in on this so that you can see what happens here. The components themselves, let's see if we can show this. Yes, there we are. The components fit together after that fashion, so they look like they're one section, and you can see that again there. So we've got A15 and two A11s here, and then we can put the A14 component in as well. So we'll do that in just a second. Let's just get the light up out the way and zero out again. So we want the A14 component now, and that's just there. So let's zero back out again, and we'll cut that one away. And make sure we leave the locator pins. Put that away back in the in its place. Everything in its place, and a place for everything. So as some some of you, or perhaps most of you, I would suspect, will know, the Voyager probes, there were 2 of them, were launched in 1977 and have operated continuously since that time, travelling from our home planet Earth, or at least my home planet anyway, and exploring the outer regions of the solar system, in particular Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, or Uranus, depending upon your perspective, tee-hee and all that, and Neptune, and obtaining photographs and data that we couldn't possibly have hoped to have obtained without actually visiting them. And they're now travelling, in fact, outside the outside the solar system. They've gone beyond the planetary solar system, and will continue to travel within our solar system, but in what is known as the interstellar medium, for around about the next 40,000 years, because that is how long it will take the two of these spacecraft to actually get to the edge of what's called the Oort cloud, O-O-R-T. I think it was named for an astronomer who both supposed and then, shall we say, discovered or inferred its existence. And the end of the Oort cloud is excuse me, believed to be where the end of the influence of the sun's gravity actually happens. But as things stand, the 2 Voyager spacecraft have reached and surpassed what is known as the termination shock, which is the edge of the area where the influence of the sun's rays tends to come to an end. The what's it called? I can't remember now for a minute. I'm concentrating on this. The cosmic rays emitted by the sun start to travel much less quickly, so in fact subsonic. It's called bow shock, and are then affected much more by the interstellar medium. So the cosmic rays from outside of the solar system. And that the presence of the bow shock has been inferred again since since time back when it was discovered. It was confirmed by the 2 Voyager probes. So there we go. Now, there's one of them in. I didn't get the other one in. There we go. So now we have all 4 of those sections in. I'm going to do the same thing here as I did with the sections of the excuse me, of the dish. So it looks like there are 3 legs. That goes to 6, goes to 3, goes to 6, goes to 3, goes to 6. So that looks like it's in fairly good order. I want to check at this moment exactly what this then plugs into. I have an idea that it plugs into the back of the dish, which has a round section on it. But I just want to confirm that, because this will give us an opportunity to check whether our fitting is correct or not. No, it doesn't. It sits on something else. Well, in fact, it doesn't sit on anything, it would appear. Oh, here we are, look. Okay. So these sections here were clearly what the spacecraft sat on when it was actually inside the Titan launch vehicle. So it was clearly released from there. So this dish then essentially sits atop that, and these sit underneath. So we've selected the right way to do that, I think. And I think we could probably, there'd be a degree of filling to do, but I think we could probably glue those in. Yes, it is what we will do. I had a bit of an accident with glue this morning. I didn't half swear. put some more things in the swear box then. So just go around here. Excuse me. As you can see, I'm my voice is sounding a little better than I claimed for it a few days ago. Thank you to those of you who yeah, a bit of filling to be done there, I suspect. For those of you who were sympathetic to me, I'm very grateful to you. So we can leave that there. And there are some things to put in here as well, some further components. We'll get the poker out and just zero in a bit on that. Oh, this isn't working. What's going on with it? Oh, there we go. We're back again working. So we've got to put this little section in here, and there's some other bits and bobs. Now, I want to quickly check with the instructions that I have for the Photo-etch to make certain that there are no other things I need to think about putting in. And so as far as the main bus is concerned, there is a section around here. There is also some circular sections to go in here. Now, those circular sections are for the thrusters. They're very small, as you can see. It's just, this doesn't seem to be zooming at the minute for some strange reason. I don't quite know why. So you can see the 4 sections here. 1, 2, 3 and 4 there have circular sections to be put round them, which are just there. Then there are some other metal sections to be put in, as you can see there, onto the bus here. So we have to get the orientation correct, in the sense that there's a metal surround here and also a bar that goes in there. So that's going to be quite delicate work, that. As we turn this up the other way and we go to the next section, again there's another rim to go round, and we'll just throw that on the floor there, shall we? And it even provides us with a gold disc. So I'm going to use probably that gold disc, but I'm not going to put it in until very late in the piece. We've not got very much to do there at all. And as you can see, actually, when you look at this line here is the join line of the insulating sleeving. Yeah, so moving on, if we go back up the other side, the A15 component, which as you will recall is this one, we're going to make this reflector section, whatever that is, that there, let's show you that bit there, the C12 component, we're going to make out of photo-etch parts. So it's going to be very, very delicate indeed. So we'll see if we can have a go at that. We're 18 minutes or so in at the moment, so what we might do is have a quick look at the, yes, we'll have a look at this section here, this parts 26, 22, 22 and 24. So we'll just zero out on that and move that away so that I can pull out the Photo-etch, which as you can see I've kept quite carefully, and I'm going to have to do this off camera because I've got a hard spot on the desk just a way over, sort of that way somewhere, but we'll show you the components anyway. So we want number 24. It's going to be quite hard to find these, to be honest with you. Oh yeah, you can see the disc there. Let's show you the disc, shall we? There we are, look. Let's get the poker out. So there's the disc there, look, you can see that that's very, very delicate indeed, because it's plastic on the actual model, so I think that's worthwhile using. This is a pulsar map of where the Earth is related to the nearest, I think, 7 or 8 pulsars. This is a graph of the symbols and what you should see if you correctly interpret the signals that come off the disc. And this is the first picture that you'll see, which is a circle, and this is the Earth, I believe, from memory, but it's quite detailed, and anybody who can travel interstellar distances and get a retrieve a spacecraft of this kind, this isn't going to form a problem for them, let's put it like that. So there's another piece of additional data for you. So I wanted component number 24. It's 21, 22, 19, 17, okay, 24. Looks like this is component 24 here. That's larger than I anticipated it would be. Doesn't really say that it should be folded in half, but I'm going to assume that's what need to happen. So it's this component here. Yes, it appears that it needs to be cut in half, so we'll cut it off the fret anyway, shall we? That'll be the thing to do. I'll just do off camera, as I say, it's not quite so easy to do because my rheumy old eyes can't see very well without the magnifier, but there we go. So there it is, back on camera again. I'll get our file out and give that a quick file for a second, and then we'll give it a quick bend. So we'll get the I'll just zero out just a little bit. So what I'm going to do is very carefully put that there, and to very carefully file this down its length in this manner to just remove the nibs, the sprue nibs here, or the fret nibs, because no matter how carefully you cut these, I find that I mean, you may have more skill than me, and you probably do in fact in relation to this, but as I say, no matter how carefully you cut this, you always get something left over, and you can feel the tiniest things, and you can apprehend them with the eye as well. And of course I'm probably incurring the wrath of Oxley here by not using gloves to handle these very delicate components, and so I should too. I know I haven't brought the gloves with me. It's one thing I always forget, to be honest with you. So I'm sorry, my dear Peter. You are probably right in this regard. I may have to clean these components off. They're better. So that's better. There we go. Is that quite there? Yeah, that's there. So one does have to be a little bit careful with these. See, yeah, I've put a fingerprint on that. You can probably see that now. So we'll drop that there for a minute and find the other component. So there's a component 26. So let's find. Oh, 26 is fairly easy to see here, and it's this thing here. So we're going to have to be really exceedingly careful with that. So let's check where the so there's a fret nib there. There's one at each corner essentially, and then it would appear there's two in the middle. So yeah, okay. So it gives me an idea of where I need to cut. This is going to be more difficult to clean up, I would say, so I'm going to have to be more careful with this than I am with the previous one, although quite a lot of the componentry, as it were, the ends of these will be hidden away. Oh, this is going to be difficult. So I'll move my light a minute. I'm just still with you here. You've got dead vision, as it were, at this moment in time, because I'm right. Just one more to cut there, and we'll be there. So I'm going to put that up there, out of the way, and get my tweezers here and have a bloody good look at that. Now, if we zero in on this, as you can see, let's see if we can get this, there we go. There's quite a large sprue nib here, or whatever you want to call it, a nib. I'll call it a nib, just there, which is going to cause me a problem to remove. And I shall just drop that, zero back out again. I'm going to try and cut it away with a blade on a hard surface. Now I'm afraid I don't have a hard surface, as I've said, nearby, so I'm going to do some fooling around with that. I'm probably going to have to fool around with that off camera, would be my best bet. But in the meantime, if I can find my steel rule, which seems to have disappeared. No, that's quite odd. Okay, I'm going to have to use plan B, which is the faithful old Photo-etch bending tool. So what we'll do is we'll pick that up, turn it over, and carefully insert it into the bending tool. Now I'm going to do this under the magnifier, so I'm going to get this as correctly as I possibly can, so you won't be able to see very much of this, I'm afraid, but on the other hand I will, and I think it's quite important for me to get this right, because if the fold isn't exactly straight, it'll come out as slightly, well, it'll come through pissed, won't it? It won't be where we want it to be. So I'll just remove that, draw that away, and then gently fold that down there. Oh, well, that's turned out okay, I would say. Oh, just nearly dropped that. So that's looking quite good, I would say there. So that's the first component there that goes onto the A15 section, and then the next one will be this little section here that we have to bend in half. So what we'll do with that is find out which way round first we want it to be, because it is sided. I'm going to have to look at that under the magnifier again. Right, so okay, I can see the section that I want. It needs to bend. It would appear to need to bend that way. The reason I think this is because the sink on the fret is on this side as it faces us. So we're going to do the same thing again. going to have to do this underneath the magnifier once again, folks, so hopefully that is visible to you. Just locate that in there, and then once again very gently with a blade lift that up to 90 degrees, just like that, and that went very quickly and very easily there. So what I tend to do is grasp the holder here, this flat section, and then twist this so that I don't suddenly move the work that's in the vice grip. I have to be very careful with this, and then gently move that away, and then I can place that between my thumb and forefinger and hopefully press it until it, and there we go. Now with any luck I get that, there we go. I'll just press that down, so that also is now done. So there are two tiny other sections we need. We also need to establish our position for the 26 component up the top here. What I will do with that is, in the next video we'll start to do that, but I'm going to go away and cut this section down. Let's just zero in. Oh, the zeroing isn't working for reasons I can't quite work out at this point. I don't know quite why, but as I say, I'm going to cut that section off, and I'm going to call a halt to this because we're half an hour in, and that takes a long time to upload in my clockwork internet. So look, thanks everyone for watching this. I'm going to try and complete this model fairly shortly, and I'll probably be going simultaneously with the Focke-Wulf. But look, thanks very much for taking a look today. I'll hopefully see you again fairly soon, this I hope was quite interesting for you in the sense that it was something a little bit new and different, other than the aircraft that I've been doing. So I'll catch up with you on the next one. Thank you very much for calling in today and visiting. I appreciate it enormously. Flash a comment towards us, no problem at all. I'm quite happy to read anybody's comments, and I'll respond to every one of them as much as I possibly can, or as quickly as I can anyway. If you take the trouble to write to me, I will take the trouble to write back. So thanks very much indeed for that, everybody. Take care, have a good time, model on. Bye for now.